Daniel Penny, 24-year-old Marine that was a
Legend.
facing manslaughter. Yeah, exactly. For restraining Jordan Neely during that crazy subway incident, was acquitted after the jury ruled his actions were in self-defense and not criminal. So you don't say. By the way, this incident happened on my birthday, May 1st, 2023. So think about it. Marine veteran going to college, using the VA loan to take the subway to go to class when Jordan Neely, a homeless man with mental disorders, including schizophrenia and violent behavior, began threatening passengers. Witnesses reported that this dude was saying this verbatim out loud, okay? Imagine you're on a train. I'm going to kill you, number one. Number two, I'm prepared to go to jail for life from killing you. Number two, I'm willing to die, all right? And everybody's like flipping out. Now, guys, if you notice this, and Brandon, there's no footage pre-chokehold. You know why? Everybody was flipping out because this guy was causing such a chaotic scene. Nobody had time, because you know how it is, bro. New York, anywhere. People are just, they want to be on their phones. So nobody recorded that. Then once it happened, he held him in a chokehold for about, 5 minutes. Another guy.
Person of color.
A man of color, because I love how this freaking media calls it, was restraining, and you see him holding his arms. And then in an interview after the situation, they asked Penny, was it the black thing? They were playing the race card. He goes, I didn't see a black man threatening passengers. I saw a man threatening passengers. And he goes, you guys want to talk about people of color? He was threatening people of color and children and women, and everybody was around there. So he stepped in, held them down. Obviously, the other guy passed away. They tried to make him this crazy, reckless vigilante. And then BLM. By the way, I want to show this real quick. Jake, can you please show? These are the witnesses at the train. No, you could go back, Jake. These are right here. This is just a quick compilation. We don't have to play all of it. This is aftermath. The cops are there. The train has stopped. I think he's in custody. Penny's in custody. But you tell me if there's anybody invoking, this white guy choked out and killed a black man. Tell me if you guys get a just of it. Was it racist or was it justified? Go ahead and play this, Jake.
Then he came in, he put his hand so he could come in, right? Okay. I guess he was pissed or something, but I looked at him, right? And then he started taking off his sweater, dummy hard, and then he threw it. And then he told everyone that he had a rough day and that he don't care what happens today. He don't care about going to jail, but that someone's dying today.
Yeah, weird. Well, they're giving him CPR right there.
He had a fight at all? No, he came on the train. I was sitting right there. I was sitting next to everybody that was moving. That was the last one I was sitting. He came on the train. He was like, yo, I'm looking for food. I'm looking for this shit. He was ready to risk it all. Basically, he was basically, he's going to tell the people about to hurt somebody. He's like, I'm ready to hurt somebody. I'm ready to do this. And he was right here. Like I said, I don't think he did nothing wrong. Everybody knew that he was about to start
hurting people.
He tried this while the cops was coming. They took that. I was calling 911.
Everybody called 911.
Man on the clock. He was trying to resist.
It took them a long time to come. Okay, you can stop. You can stop it, Jake. Thank you. And guys, by the way, this goes on for freaking 3.5, almost 4 minutes of every single person said crazy, threatening people's lives, telling he was going to kill somebody, and he's like, I'm going to go to jail. Bro, those are all threats, Brandon. Brandon, could you
yeah.
What would you have done?
No, 100%. I mean, anybody, if this was me, I would have done that. If it was one of my family members who were there and it was a guy and didn't do that, I'd be ashamed of them. I'd be proud of them if they did do it. And I think anybody who's criticizing the guy for it, they would be thankful if somebody they cared about was in this position where they're being threatened by somebody and somebody did this for them. But, they're using it like it's the Charlemagne the God thing. They're trying to capitalize on hatred and racism. So, like, the people who want to make something of themselves are trying to feel like they have something to contribute to society by capitalizing on this. And that's what I see with the people who are saying, oh, he's just looking for food. Oh, we need to, I'm tired of seeing all this racism. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I actually disagree.
Why?
Let's hear it.
Because I think they're bringing the racism into it as an excuse, and we're confronted with a bigger conversation, all right? This bureaucrats and this people that want to take full control of everyone's life, they want everyone helpless. And they think that police is the only people that can help you. when we abide to the laws and the Constitution, we give the police, the monopoly on violence or the monopoly on force, because it's not when it's done by police, it's not violence, it's force.
Yes.
But the thing is that we're humans, and we can defend ourselves and we can defend people around us, and they're making a point, and right now with the justice system in this country, the trial is the punishment. They grab you, they do this trial, because for everyone here, I think, I'm speaking for myself, they saw the video, they heard what people say, they saw the phone calls to 911, and everyone here will agree that was they should have let him home immediately because he was protecting the public.
Yeah.
One of the points making to everybody that's seeing this, like, it's setting the precedent that you shouldn't interfere if somebody's
That's what
being
I'm
hurt.
saying, Brandon.
Well, yeah, and you guys, you made a great point. And by the way, don't forget what you're going to say. The cops aren't there to stop the crime from happening. They show up after the math. Cops show, rarely in situations like I've seen on the show Cops drive by and they're like, oh shit, somebody does a crime. They're coming later. And as that gentleman was saying, they were taking mad long, okay? So it's up to us to protect ourselves and to protect others. The fact that they're invoking race is absolutely absurd, because I have this too. You guys heard about in June 2023, June 13th, Jordan Williams was a 20-year-old African-American kid from Queens. He stabbed a 36-year-old who was tripping out and threatening his girlfriend and threatening passengers. He took this dude's knife and stabbed him and killed him.
Yeah.
Got released. Boom. Because they had the evidence. They saw immediately.
Right.
Immediately.
And the same thing would happen here. If this was a black guy who choked out the black guy, then
if it was a black,
we wouldn't have heard about it.
Brandon, and to your point, there was a black guy helping him because he was trying to punch
Well,
dealer.
clearly that guy's a white supremacist.
Oh, yeah,
Just like
of
Daniel
course.
Penny was.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And that's the other thing, Vinny. You're a veteran. You've been to the military. I have a lot of veteran friends. You can't make it out of the military if you're a racist.
Yeah.
You can't.
No, you're
It's
done.
one of the most beautiful things. They all make fun of each
Everybody
other.
craps on everybody equally.
Everyone comes from every walk of life. Privileged kids, black kids, white kids, Asian kids. Like you can't make it 2 or 3 years. You can't be a retired veteran if you're like a
Just hating on everybody. Don't get me wrong. We bust each other's balls.
Yeah, you do.
Whites make fun of blacks. Blacks make fun of everybody. We make fun of the Mexican guys. Dude, but we all loved each other and we were all brothers, no matter what. Nobody gave a crap what the hell. We didn't come in with any hate or any of that bullshit. Nobody, you know what? You know why? Because that guy, that black guy, that Spanish guy, that Middle Eastern guy, your life is in his freaking hands. None of that, all that shit goes out the window. So you're right. That horse shit. Like,
Is that veteran behavior? That's how we want to portray our veterans?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And this freaking Marine was like, you know what? This guy's saying he's gonna kill. And what was he supposed to do? I'm very curious. What was he supposed to do?
Well, I'll tell you what he was supposed to do, because this is what makes Daniel Penny such a hero. We were talking about, what would anybody have done in that scenario? What anybody would have done is absolutely nothing, because that is what we've been conditioned to do. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why they tell women in big cities, like, hey, if you're ever being sexually assaulted, yell fire, because you're more likely to get somebody to help you than if you yell rape.
Yep.
Because they have conditioned the general public to stand there and watch and do nothing. I've never lived in New York, but anyone who spent time there on the subway, you know what it's like on the subway, which is where you kind of sit there. There's a crazy dude over there. Ignore him.
They're peeing on the floor.
Is he messing with somebody? Ignore him. Don't get involved. It's not your problem. But Daniel Penny saw there was an actual threat to the people around him, decided to intervene, and even though he's been acquitted, he can never live peacefully in New York City again.
Oh, never. He's gone.
There's basically an unofficial BLM bounty on his head now.
Of course.
Do you think he can just walk peacefully down the street again?
Oh no,
there's people looking for that guy's blood over this.
And right there, and just to show, and Jake, can you play this one? These are two BLM. I don't know if she's a leader, but the guy after her, I'll show. But can you play this one? This is the Black Lives Matter's attitude about the situation.
Because to be real, they didn't even try. Once the lesser charge was removed, they came back an hour later and said it was deadlock. Less than an hour and 20 minutes later, they said not guilty. These wonderful white people, I hope they celebrate their Christmas while the Neely family is praying and asking God for comfort. Goddamn them and goddamn America.
Okay, yeah. And by the way, and her guy in the back.
Get out.
Hawk Newsome. Leave. By the way, I'm shocked the BLM leaders have any time to be there. They're supposed to be stealing money and embezzling and.
Well, this is where the money is, right?
That's where the money.
So
oh yeah, exactly.
They
So-
show up.
and this is the crucifix wearing Hawk Newsom, who's a BLM leader from New York, who's been arrested for assaulting police officers. Just FYI, negative, just race baiting, negative ass person. This is him encouraging violence on white people. Play this one, Jake.
Like everybody else has vigilantes, we need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud.
Oh yeah, he was just being loud.
How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Right.
Oppress you.
I'm tired.
Who's oppressing you?
I know y'all looking for us to be like, oh, go and march. Go and march. No. This weekend, I want you to hold a community event. Everywhere
Yeah,
from the
you're
Bronx to
beating up white
Houston
people.
to Seattle to Florida. Black people hold community event and talk about what you need.
Could you imagine what the world would be like if black people just started assaulting people on public transit all of a sudden? What would that be like?
Exactly.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
That's never happened
But
before.
Can you imagine if a white group went up for, let's say it was the roles were reversed, and a white person stood there and goes, hey, you know what? Hey, white people, rise up and go do vigilante shit, basically calling it. Rob, go ahead. What were
They
you
did that. They were called Klan meetings, and that's why they were designated a hate group. And yet, for some reason, corporate America has embraced Black Lives Matter, and they've donated $50 million to their cause. The charity, if you will, which they should at this point just be classified as what they are, a terrorist organization. When you're getting on live TV, when you're getting on live TV and you're telling people to riot and you're telling people that we need black vigilantes to go after people to get justice for a guy who was a criminal who got choked out. He was arrested for what? Kidnapping a 7-year-old girl?
He was, and Rob, I'm going
And
right
he
back.
punched
Rob,
out a 60-year-old woman.
Rob, going right back to you. Arrested 44 times for kidnapping a 7-year-old.
That guy.
Yeah, the guy that was
The guy that died.
Get
kidnapping
out of here.
a 7-year-old in 2015, punching a 64-year-old man in 2019, breaking a 67-year-old woman's nose in 2021 on a train.
Oh, he's a tough
Weird.
guy.
And arrested 44 times. Please.
So back to Black Lives Matter, they should be designated a terrorist hate group, and they should be dismantled and defunded. They have raised $90 million, of which has gone to Patrice Cullors, buying multiple mansions, hiring her brother to do hundreds of thousands of dollars in artwork and stuff.
Yeah.
Like this money laundering scheme that they do right out in the open, and then when you call them on it, they go, "You hate black people, you racist white devil, you." It's like, no, I just hate people that are frauds and hucksters. And that's exactly what Black Lives Matter is.
I agree 100%.
And you know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of seeing people being punching women in the face, then everybody standing around there and not doing anything about it. Which, how many videos have we seen like that? I've seen videos where men walk up to old women, punch them in the face, and there's guys standing around that don't do anything.
It's a regular day, bro. In New York, I'm telling you right now, and I've said this multiple times, it's literally Gotham City. If you watch the movie The Joker, at the end, the streets and the people, that's what it's become, bro, from the top down. And that's a bigger problem with this entire situation is New York City, the liberal shithole sanctuary city BS that they destroyed. I'm from Yonkers, New York. They've destroyed this place. You know how bad the subway is? It's like a joke. Like, you know when you talk about Catholic priests and the joke is, oh, the pedophile, where it's like, it's a really serious situation and it's a joke. People joke about pedophilia when it comes to these freaking priests. New York City is like, oh, you want to get raped and mugged and take the subway. Kathy Hochul deployed, I think in March last year, 750 National Guard and 250 cops in the subways because of crime.
With checkpoints and long guns.
And long, yes. What are you fighting, Al Qaeda down there?
Almost.
The one time that I felt like my life was in danger was 2015. I went to New York City for a radio conference. We had a day off, and I went, well, let's go look at the sites. And for me, I'm a 9/11 enthusiast.
Yeah,
so
me
I
too.
went to the Ground Zero Museum. And the train ride to go to that to and from, I have never been so scared in my life, where you're just looking around going, when am I going to get shanked? Because every person that was on the train was either sleeping, screaming, or pissing. There was no in between. There was no, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to work on my thesis for how to figure out a solution to cancer. It was some guy taking a shit in a brown bag in a corner. And I'm like, this is New York.
You want to talk about, so because, my father wasn't really, but my father was there, but, the drinking and the alcoholism and he wasn't there. I remember 3 stories that stuck out from my father, from his childhood and growing up and living in France. And one of them was he was coming home late from working at the hospital and he took a train, Rob, and he's on the train and he is awakened by the conductor, because at the end of the train they come and they walk through to make sure it's clean, and he wakes my father up. My father got hit in the back of the head, skull cracked open and robbed. That's one of the main stories I remember of my father, and this is the 70s.
Wow.
This is the 70s. It hasn't changed. So I think in this situation, bro, it's disgusting to me that I'm not surprised, but it's disgusting. I'm so happy that he got acquitted, Rob. And Bob, I'm going to come to you. So happy for this freaking guy that stepped the hell up, okay? He saw something and he did something. God forbid he didn't and they killed that guy, let's say killed a freaking child that was on there. It wouldn't make the news. It would have been a blip on the radar. 12-year-old kid killed on the subway. Next, Trump. Trump is this, Trump is that. You wouldn't have heard shit. But because it's a freaking white guy and a black person, and there hasn't been anything happening since George Floyd, because apparently when Joe Biden's in, there's no racism happening in the world, which is, you don't think that there's cops assaulting and murdering people? They're still doing it. You're just not seeing it because they don't want you to see it.
Vinny, imagine,
Rob, I'm gonna close
imagine this. Imagine if we got another video. If we got the video of a kid, God forbid, or a pregnant woman getting stabbed, and then we realize that a Marine was sitting next to that woman.
Forget it.
We would be tearing him apart in this show. We'll be tearing him apart.
Very good
Can
point.
you
Who
imagine
are you?
that?
Or me.
Yeah.
Vinny, weren't you in the military? You just sat there and let her get stabbed and murdered.
His brothers in arms. They're like, isn't that Danny?
Yeah.
Why didn't he do anything?
Fucking Penny didn't do shit.
Penny didn't do shit.
But when I covered Jordan or the Daniel Penny case when the trial was beginning,
I remember.
a couple weeks back, I included a story that happened right after that of a woman was being mugged in a subway station. A guy came up and pulled a gun to shoot at the mugger. The mugger ran off, and the guy got arrested. And the woman who he was intervening to help said, I appreciated it. I just wish he'd found a little bit less violent of a way to help. And I didn't care for the gun violence and everything. And it's like, you're the problem.
Get out of here.
You were supposed to be in a position where you were grateful to the person trying to help you.
Yep.
But now this guy's in jail because you didn't like the fact that he used a gun. This is the problem. It's curated helplessness among the population.
Go ahead, Rob.
None of this was about justice ever, and you know that. It was all about race, and the whole reason that you know that, it's just like the defund the police movement. The defund the police is not about justice. Defund the police is about Black Lives Matter finding... Think about it. You defund the police. You remove the police. What happens? More crime happens. What happens then? More incidents like this happen. Then what happens? It gives Black Lives Matter a platform to get out there and call racism, and then further generate funds. So it's this big cyclical money scheme where they come out and they go, defund the police, we must have justice for black people. But then what that actually does, if they do remove the police, is it encourages crime, that encourages instances like this from happening. When these instances do happen, then Black Lives Matter gets on their platform and they start to yell from their soapbox about injustice and inequality. But really what that just means is it's a hustle for your cash dollars.
Yep. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.